Aloha and welcome to the Hoppy Hale.
Hoppy
Hale, where we shoot the cruise, drink some brews, and maybe, just maybe, talk about the news. But probably not.
Very good. Thanks for having me.
Today, our guest is a good friend of mine, AJ. AJJ. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Thank you.
How you been?
Working hard,
Chilling.
having fun. The lockdown, though,
Life.
Trying to stay home.
Quarantined.
Yeah. So, staying home, keeping busy.
Shooting pool.
Not as much as I would like.
Working on the car.
Yeah.
Well, one or the other. So, I wanted to choose a brew that you haven't tried yet. So I hope that you haven't tried the double overhead double IPA from the Valley Isle.
That sounds very nice.
Yeah. Maui Brewing Company. So here you go, friend.
Thank you, mate.
It has 8.5 ABV.
It's up there.
It's a big boy. It's a big boy.
You got this down the road.
I bought it at Sack and Save. Yeah. Well, it doesn't smell that bad though. I've smelled beers that were like, oh, this is gonna be a long
that
night.
smell. I like that smell. That hoppy.
It's golden.
Hippie hoppy.
You see my cup?
Nice. Very nice.
You were supposed to have one, but they didn't come in yet.
Ah.
Whoever comes on, we're gonna give them a cup.
Very good, very good. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. It is hoppy, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Hoppy bite.
Can you
Oh.
smell it?
The smell isn't that bad, but the bite is there. Like you can taste
Have you tried this one before?
It's very good.
AJ, how did we meet? You and I, or us three? I have an idea, but I'm not sure if it matches up with how we met in your.
That means you don't know.
I have an idea. I thought we met because you worked at O'Reilly's, but I thought we met because of the big house, the party house.
I believe our first encounter would have been at O'Reilly's. But then the big house was where we got to know each other.
Kind of cruise, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a party house. That was a fun house. You know Keith lives there now, yeah?
Yeah. Good old Keith.
Whose room does he live in?
AJ figured it out too last time we talked to him.
Yeah, we did.
Shots.
It was either...
Ron's or Dave's?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Ron's because Ron was, you could see his window. Yeah.
You see the flag, that's why.
So it wasn't Ron's.
Dave's then.
Well, no, there was two Rons. There was Ron and Ranger.
Oh,
No,
that's
not
right.
Ranger. It wasn't Rangers.
Okay, so then it was Ron Santos.
Filipino Ron.
Yeah, if you come up the stairs, his was kind of like that,
Straight.
and this was a little bit to the left.
How much rooms is that house?
There's 4 up there, and then there's another 2
2.
downstairs.
And then they made it another one. So now there's 3 because they closed it.
Ah,
Right? That's
well,
what Keith was saying, huh? They closed where we used to train.
that was Zion's room.
Yeah, Zion's room. And then they closed it at the kitchen and then closed the bathroom on the kitchen side and then opened it on Zion's side. So that's like its own. What would you even call that?
It'd be interesting to go back and see.
We probably could. Let's go surprise him one day. What? So. Is that where it was then?
Yeah, I believe so.
So AJ, coming from the medical field.
Yeah.
I'm sure they briefed you on COVID-19. So what is, from your standpoint, what are you thinking of it? What do you think about it?
So at first, I was kind of comparing it to the flu when it first broke out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, although it is new, it's nowhere near as bad as the flu, because the flu killed already way more than this virus.
Mm-hmm.
But now, after weeks and maybe a month or so, it's coming out where flu has a season, right? So it'll taper off, or it'll kind of
into the warmer, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But we have no idea about COVID, if it's gonna just keep running rampant, or is rampant a word?
It is. I think you used it well.
Or is the warmer weather gonna do the same thing to the flu? So it's just as contagious, I think. It's just as contagious. It's transmitted the same way. Little droplets that you cough, or you touch your eye after you handled something that somebody coughed on, or they coughed in their hand and they touched. Those droplets can get into your mucous membranes, like your eyes or your mouth.
How does this one affect you differently than the flu? Or is it like kind of the same?
It's pretty much the same. Although we've been exposed to the flu for a while, so a lot of us have some type of immunity to it. The symptoms are not as bad, but the risk is for those who have weakened immune systems, so they can't fight it as well as a healthy, like you and I.
Considering we're healthy.
Yeah.
So why is it like hitting different then? You know what I mean? Like why? How differently is it attacking, or is it just different, like new, different strain?
Right.
So that's why it's hitting different. It's just because there's one thing that's different. That's why we can't.
How it's targeting older folk.
Yeah. So they're saying.
Because it's credible.
Right.
They are saying.
They are saying.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Right. That in China, the demographic of the infected, or whatever that word is, was for primarily the elderly, and there's very little younger people getting infected or having symptoms. And now, in the U.S., there's a higher percentage of younger people getting it, and there's so we have already reached higher infection rate percentage than China.
I read that. I read that we're the highest country,
right,
in the world right now.
Like for the death toll, however, I think it's still higher.
Where in China?
China and Italy is getting hit pretty hard, but the high populated areas like New York's going through some crazy stuff.
Bad.
Just because the density of the population. Right?
Have you ever been to New York?
When I was young, I remember seeing the Statue of Liberty and eating Cheerios in the back of a Jeep while we drove through.
We forgot to say the station. We forgot to say it. Are you ready to ramble?
I'm sorry.
That's how, because we know that we're eventually gonna just start rambling. So that's like, are you ready to ramble? And then, boom, we just start rambling.
I see.
But
I know you guys recently went.
Yeah, because we went to Iceland, which is super clean. You know that Iceland has like, I think I don't even know if it's the right word, per capita. What does that mean?
Per capita.
Okay, so we'll use that. Iceland has like the highest gun owners in Iceland. They density wise, like they have the most guns. They own the most guns, and they have like one of the lowest gun violence.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but again, Iceland's there. It's super good. It's nice over there.
Yeah.
Like the people they're really friendly. They just come off different. Like just because they don't smile at you initially, you think like, oh, you're kind of put off. But then when you talk to them, they're just like super helpful and they're like real friendly. But they're just not gonna.
Right.
Right. As soon as you see, but yeah. So after we came back from Iceland, we stopped in New York, and we went to what's that place even called?
Where?
In New York,
Central Park.
where we went. No,
Went to the zoo.
with all the
Oh.
like all the billboards and
That
stuff.
you see.
Oh,
You see the
Times
movies?
Square.
Times Square. That place is stink.
Stink.
Like stink, bruh.
Sewage.
Yeah, like
Rotting garbage.
It's funny because we came from Iceland, the most cleanest,
Bruh.
most freshest place, and
so clean.
take us to
To New York, bro, and it
Yeah.
was like, and Iceland is like it was like the cleanest air
Mm-hmm.
because everything's so spread out. Like the towns and stuff, you have to drive like 3-4 hours sometimes between towns because we went around the whole island of Iceland.
Wow.
So it's like super super clean air. So it's like you go like, I mean we have pretty clean air here, but
Yeah.
Iceland was something different. The water, we drink the water here, but water in Iceland is like, if you buy a bottle of water, they look at you like, what the hell? Like, cause their water is so clean.
Right.
But yeah, going from Iceland, which is like clean in every aspect, and then going to New York, which is like overpopulated.
Right.
I mean, and with overpopulation, you get, but oh man, Times Square was stink, man. Like, bro, it was bad. Like, I didn't think, I was kind of shocked. I was caught off guard how like smelly it was. It just smelled like everything. You know, like the fair.
Yeah.
You smell the fair like after.
Right.
Like when you walk behind all the food places and you smell it, you're like, oh man, what the fuck? That's how it smelled. Times Square the whole time. Like, it was different.
I've been to the Philippines a couple of times, and I remember the smell in. Here somewhere.
There it is.
The smell in those cities, or not even in the cities, just in the large
The populated areas.
Yeah.
Is it because they don't have like proper drainage or
I think it
disposal
has something to do
of-
with that, and again, just that dense population in one.
It was nice though. Like New York was like, I would drop everything and just move there, just to chance it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go in and see like what's up, you know.
I heard the cost of living is outrageous.
I bet. But can you tell me what which one it's on?
The 8 all the way in this side.
Okay. But
That's an 8, right?
I think it's a figure 8 almost, right? So the place that we stayed in New York, they can't have Airbnbs, right? Airbnbs are
That's what
illegal
you
in New
read.
York. Huh?
That's what I read.
Okay, so we stayed at this one spot, and it was like, bro, it was like a shoebox. Like you walk in, open the door, the bed's right there. Like you see the bed, and then you walk like 3 or 4 steps, and there's like a counter. You're walking alongside the counter. The bed's here, and then you can turn, and there's like a couch, and then you walk and you do a U-turn, and you're in the kitchen. And then if you turn around in the kitchen, you can see the bathroom. So like the bed's here, the bathroom's here. There's like a little couch, little kitchen, and then the door.
Mm.
It had to have been like probably the size of this room
Wow. This is what, like 12?
by 12 probably.
Yeah.
And it had to be like the size of this room, but I liked it. I was like, bruh, I could live in something like this. Like, I'll be alright
Mm-hmm.
if that was the case. But I don't think she would be all right. But like as just like a pad, like it was pretty cherry. And we had some deep dish pizza.
I didn't really care for that.
Yeah, you don't like the bread of deep dish. I like the bread of deep dish.
I'll settle for Little Caesars.
Italiano. I don't know, but I like the deep dish pizza. We rented a bike. You know the bikes that we have over here now?
Mm.
So you download an app and you make a profile and then you put in your thing.
PayPal or something.
Yeah, and then you just put in your credit card and then you just rent a bike. You take the bike out. We actually, I think we were like on 80th Street, somewhere up there. And then we rode down to Times Square. And then when you get there, you just find one of those stations and you plug it in and you just dig out. You go cruise. And if you see another bike station, like if you get a day pass, you see another bike station, you want to ride bike, you do your phone, it'll unlock one of them, and you just ride, you plug it into a random one.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, the people up there, the driving, for us not being there, I think we almost got banged. Station almost got banged by a bus.
Oh, that was.
She was just going though, and I was riding with a growler. We went to this beer place. What was it called?
American.
No, that was in Vegas. That was in Iceland. It was like shoot, we bought the growler.
Yeah.
It was like
You take some video out there?
not Beer Lab of New York.
Like GoPro action?
New York? No, we only stayed there for one night, so we gotta go back whenever. It'll be cherry. But this is our beer map. So you scratch off where you drank. So we only drank in Hawaii and Iceland.
Nice.
That is blemishes from.
Me, I was cleaning.
We drank in like Nevada and California, but that doesn't really count. You know.
Yeah.
But
It has to be since.
Yeah, since I guess so,
procuring
yeah. Since getting this.
procuring the map, you have to.
I don't know how we're gonna go drink in Chad, but
You never know.
never know. Congo.
I want to drink down here.
Let's do it, man. Let's make a date. Australia. AJ wants to drink in Australia.
Yeah.
I'd see some koalas.
I'm down with that.
Save some koalas. Well, I don't know if the fires are still going on in Australia. I think there was a rain storm that came in and helped out, but as far as I
Even
know.
that I heard was pretty damaging.
Mm-hmm.
The storm in itself.
Oh yeah, it was like I think I seen a video of the winds were just coming like straight sideways. Like bruh. And then the video was like, what did Australia do?
Yeah.
Like they're getting worked. But that's crazy though. Iceland definitely you should go though.
Yeah,
I'd go back.
what made you guys go to Iceland?
So my cousin was like, we're going to Iceland. You guys want to go? And then we were just talking about getting our passports. So I was like, yeah, let's go. And then I told Stacia. And she was like, oh, I guess we're going. So I made that decision. And then, we just went. And then we told my mom guys and my auntie. And they're like, oh, we'll go. So I was like, oh, okay. So there was 6 of us. And we just went. It was perfect though. We got there and they were saying like, oh, we only get like 10 days of sun a year. And the whole time we were there, bro, it was sunny. Like one day it was like drizzling, but the whole time we were there it was sunny. So it was like, it's like one of those things like you go and you get one of those experiences and you're like, man, we gotta go back. And then you go back and it just storms the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just get spoiled the first time. You're like, no way, bro. This is cherry. You gotta go back. It was so beautiful. And then when you go back the second time, it's like, I guess this is what the locals are talking about, bro. It's just storming.
Yeah.
Iceland for being so big, it's small though.
Yeah.
Like they're spread out a lot, which is cool.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate to scale the map is. I mean, it could be pretty close. But it looks like you could fit, I don't know, maybe 20 plus big islands. Nice.
No, I think it's pretty. I think that in that sense it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it took us. It didn't take us, of course, because we didn't drive straight, but it took us 9 days to drive around Iceland.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
It took us, and it was like 3 hours, one spot, one town, and we stayed there that night, and then like 3 hours the next time we stayed there that night, and like 5 hours the next time we stayed there one night. So it was pretty big.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice though. It was pretty big.
So I just looked up. In Iceland, there's about 340,000 people as of March. Oh, as of today.
Oh yeah.
And then compared to Oahu, it's 953.
1,000.
That's just Oahu.
Yeah.
The Big Island is 200,000, I heard.
So imagine all the people on here. To do the square footage, square mileage. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Do that of Iceland compared to, or to get how much people's on the Big Island first.
It says 185.
185 what?
1,000.
185,000. What was Iceland?
300 something.
Okay, so about 2 times, and then try to do the land mass of the Big Island.
So, Iceland, 39,000 square miles.
Okay,
Wait.
that looks nice. Yeah,
Okay.
poured a little bit
Of
too
which
much head.
100,000. Wait. Okay, let's say land. 38,000 on Iceland.
38,000 square miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Big Island.
Go man.
Like 10, 8.
15.
4,000.
Is it?
Is
I
that
don't know.
right?
Cross check it. Is it right?
Sounds right.
So, 4,000. Yeah, 4,000 sounds about right.
Yeah.
Square miles.
Yeah.
So 4,000 square miles. Okay, we'll just double it to 8,000. Compared to, what was it? 39,000. So it's what, 5 times as much, right?
Yeah.
5 times as much
Land.
land to people, right?
Right.
Here, they have 5 times as much land than we do, compared to people.
So the coronavirus came in handy.
No.
So the coronavirus, I don't know if it hit Iceland, did it?
Yeah.
I think it
there
did. I
was
think it hit him hard.
3 cases.
Oh, maybe not.
Hard, bro.
Well,
I
might have been
checked, that was
hard.
like 2 months ago. Wait, when this first started, that was the first time
But
that was really bumpy.
again, it's extremely cold up there too, right?
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's above Canada.
And it's really
according
wet.
To that,
And it's really wet too.
it's like Alaska.
Do you know in
Status.
Iceland they have an app that Icelandic people download to make sure that they're not like dating their cousins because it's so small.
We should get that here in Big Island, in Hawaii. But then again, we're so
I think we're more spread out. There's
Yeah.
more diversity too
we're so
over here.
diverse here.
Yeah, there's way more diversity.
But just
Portuguese, Hawaiian, Puerto Rican, Filipino, Japanese, Chinese, Korean.
what would you say the top 3 races of Hawaii is?
Japanese.
No
Yeah.
way.
I would say
Number 1. Okay, what would you say number 1 is? I have mine in my head already.
Are we saying Big Island or are we saying
Oh.
the state?
We'll say the state. Or you want to do Big Island?
I have the answers.
You want to do Big Island or you want to do the state?
Let's do Big Island.
Okay, Big Island. Okay, a little bit different now, but I think it's still the same answer. What is yours? Number 1, race.
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 Number 1,
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to say
I think I know what you're gonna say.
what?
I think well, I don't know now. Now you made me question it. You were sure and I was sure, and then you questioned it and now I'm questioning
I'm gonna
it.
say what stage you said. Japanese.
Oh, Japanese. Oh.
We have to say top 3 or just our top pick.
I just thought I wanted to know your top one.
I have the top 3 here, and it doesn't.
In the state? Or in the Big Island?
In Hawaii.
Okay, in Hawaii, my top one would be Filipino. I would think so. Just in Waipahu by
Jeez.
itself.
Yeah.
Just Waipahu itself brings the count way up. Some kind of Asian would be my second one, other than Filipino, of course. Like Japanese, like most Japanese are Chinese, most Chinese are Japanese, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have too much purebreds anymore. And then probably the third would be Polynesian, but not Hawaiian. That would be my 3. Filipino, Asian, Japanese/Chinese, and then
So
Polynesian, but not Hawaiian.
we have to think too, though, like mixed race, like you and I.
Mm-hmm.
We have multiple ethnicities, so where do we go? We count for both. Like I'm Filipino. What am I? Mainland.
American.
American.
You're Filipino and American.
Right.
So what are you're more of?
It's even.
Is 50-50?
Yeah.
Good gravy. I guess you have to count you as 2.
Right.
I'm not even. And I think if we're gonna go with the most, for me, I'd probably be more European. I think. I think I'd be more European.
I think all Americans are European because they all came from Europe.
You know, they all came this way. This was all brown, right? If
Yeah.
you're thinking of it that way, this is all brown, and then white came, and now this is all white. Is the white strong, the blood, or did it just dilute
I think,
enough of it?
I think the diseases that we brought.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Knocked out a lot of the brown.
And I have a class in college right now that we're talking about that. We're talking about how like some people are less how do you say it? Like, okay, so they're less progressed. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're in the sense of technology.
Mm-hmm.
Technology wise, they don't have as much technology because they didn't have the resources.
Okay.
Opposed to, say, like down here, they had zebras, and it's proven that you can't train zebras, right? Okay, and then up here they had horses and cattle, so you can train horses and you can use cattle. So down here, they have been, say, using their hands
Yeah.
for work, but up here they started using the cattle for plows, and they started using the horses for, towing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So up here, because they don't have to use their hands as much, they can start using their brains more.
Right.
They thought of the plow, and then they thought of this, and they thought of that. They started progressing technologically, right? And up here they were stuck because they didn't have the same resources.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why places like this are less developed than Europe. And it was a really interesting topic that we talked about in that sense, is just because that's true.
Mm-hmm.
When you're given more, then you don't have to think so much. And that's how like technology in general has progressed, right? If I'm a hunter gatherer and I just have to do that, but you start growing plants or something, right? And you don't have to hunt and gather all day.
Mm-hmm.
Now you start thinking of other things that you can do instead of just, oh, I gotta hunt, I gotta gather, I gotta hunt, I gotta gather. It's like, oh, I have food, so I don't have to think about that now. I have an extra hour, even just 1 hour,
Right.
to think about something else. Like, what can I do? Oh, let's, let's follow that herd of cattle or herd of buffalo. Let's follow them. Well, they go in one, general area all year. Okay, so if I can herd them, then I can, I can kill some, and then I can eat it. I can give some to people, and I just follow them. Oh, now I can. Less of it is going to manual labor, more of it's going to thinking,
Right.
and then that's how, the Industrial Revolution came, right? Then people stopped all manual labor. We went all to fossil fuels, and this is why there's way too much people. Yeah, it's crazy. Like monoculture, like growing a big patch of corn, and then it went from like one farmer feeding 50 people, 30 to 50 people, to one farmer feeding 150 people. So there's less farmers now, and then they're just feeding everybody. And you only grow one type of plant. When diseases and pests come in, they just they wipe everything out. You know what I mean? But it's a cool class though. I like it.
What class is that?
It's I think it's something weird. It's called like food, water, technology or something like that. It's a weird named class, but it's like a social science, I think. But it's cool, and I've learned some pretty cool stuff.
That's cool.
You didn't take any classes like that when you were going?
No, I just took the general history, math, science. I didn't take any fun. Well, I took Filipino culture and.
Did they teach you how to dance? Do you guys have a Filipino dance?
There's a club. There's a.
I feel like it's a knife dance. Is it a knife dance?
There is one knife dance.
Yes.
I wasn't part of the dance. I wasn't very coordinated, so. Yeah, but there is that available if you want to learn it.
I don't. I just figured it would. I just had a feeling that it would be a knife dance. I don't know. I'd like the beer.
It's really good. I like the hoppiness.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You have a family in Maui? You been to Maui?
I've never been to Maui.
No shit. For real? Fuck, we gotta take you to Maui, bro. For real? Never been to Maui. Wow. We gotta go. One of your next long weekends.
Yeah. That'd be good. That'd be fun.
Dang, man, I didn't know you've never been to Maui. What other islands have you never been to?
I've been to 3 islands. So, of course, our island, and then Oahu, of course. And then me and Keith went to...
Kauai.
Yeah. For work.
Kauai is getting hit pretty good
That's how
too,
you
huh?
met my dad.
That is it. Yep. That's how I met your dad for the first time.
That's crazy, man. Easy to travel.
Yeah. I don't know how often they do it now. I don't think there's very much store revamping or, things going on other than our local store getting that little extension. They're probably going to bring in some kind of crew to help
They better.
organize the shelving and putting up all the stock,
You still work there?
SKUs. Yeah, I didn't go this past Saturday, and the manager was working when I called,
Mm-hmm.
and I just said, "Oh, do you guys need me to come in? Because
I've got better things to do.
Actually, I said we had some fevers at work, so I'm not sure. I don't want to. He said, "Oh no, we're good. We're good." And that's it.
That's smart. You should do that the whole time this thing is going on.
And that's what I'm planning on doing. However, I do need some parts from work, so there's that. Some car parts for my current project.
How's that going, by the way?
Very slow. Just knocking off the dust and dirt and grime and stumbling, making mistakes and having to redo things and getting frustrated.
But
So
that's how you
the
learn,
reason
though, right?
why it's been on the back burner for so long, I think I told you this, is I have enough stress at work.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
want to come home and stress about anything at home, But
I bet.
but at the same time, just looking at it is stressful. Just looking at it in its state where, body pieces are missing, the engine's half apart, and inside is just loaded with rubbish, basically.
Nah.
Old interior parts that been hoarding.
That's just. Yeah, I can't imagine though. I can't imagine the stress that you're going through at work. So, I can't really put myself in the situation to where I would come home.
It's a lot less than you would think, but
There's plenty more, man.
at the same time,
You can leave that in there.
it's more. So there's just stress involved with being a manager at a nursing facility, and then on top of that, we have to have our infection control, lock down the facility and make sure there's no visitors. And
So you had to orchestrate that.
I assisted. Luckily, I have very strong management, head of departments, and very, very competent.
So you just kind of assisted with whatever they needed, but
Whatever they said.
they took lead.
Yep.
Well, that's why they're there, huh?
Yeah.
That's why they're the heads.
Indeed.
You paid the big bucks. You better dump. You better open another one, man.
I will.
That thing's gone already. I think
Last
when you
thing I
have a
wanna
cup,
eat.
I think when you have a
Faster.
cup, it drinks. Yeah, you drink faster.
Well, it's a bigger hole.
We should get you a cup. What were you saying?
I forgot. Let's see. So work, like I said, stressful, but I think the measures that corporate has taken to limit the potential visitors
Exposure.
exposure is really helpful, and it's made the stress a lot less. And of course, we've had, just like every other facility, had like little scares, so and so has a fever and blah blah blah. Should we test for the COVID?
Okay. What is the testing?
It's
For the
exactly
COVID?
like the flu. It is a nasal swab, and initially it was a nasal and throat swab. You just stick a throat and you rub in there for 10 seconds, and you stick it in this tube with some kind of solution that either
So like cocaine. So they test cocaine.
maybe
Test the purity.
yeah.
If it's blue, then it's.
So I think the solution is actually to preserve or feed nutrients to whatever pathogen,
Oh, and
And
then you
then-
can look at it.
and then so you can easily identify whatever that is.
How funny is that? Yeah. Right. Because what is the flu? What is the flu shot?
It is basically inoculated or weakened virus, or even dead virus.
So our immune system can identify it and fight it.
Exactly. And then store that information so that if
Next
you
time.
get
And isn't that funny that when you take the swab, you put it into a solution that feeds it?
yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know how accurate that is. It may either feed it or it may just preserve,
Well,
sustain it. it won't destroy. You know,
Yeah,
it won't break down
it's
to
not killing it. I don't
right.
think I don't think you're far off. I don't think you're incorrect in saying it. I think it's just funny that it's like that's how we test it.
Right. And that's how we test for different types of bacterial infections. So we collect a sample and we actually, the lab.
You as a
Right.
medical professional, you do these things.
Right. So they'll swab it on some dishes
Crackers.
that have some nutrients and then actually grow, and they call it a culture. They'll culture those,
I've heard that word.
and then they'll actually have either test strips or little tablets that you put on those grown bacterial colonies, and you see how it reacts to those. And this is all information that I learned just in the basic microbiology class that I took.
Sounds
back in the day.
legit. I mean, it sounds like that's pretty much how they make vaccines, right? They take it, they grow it, they expose it to different chemicals or different solutions, vaccines,
Right.
and then if it dies, then that's the one. If it doesn't die, if it grows, I'll lean away from that one
Exactly.
until the government needs it.
Mm-hmm.
So the nasal swab, right? How big is that fucker?
It's a good 6-7 inches, but you're not using it all the way to the tip. You know, you're not sticking it all the way to the tip. You're going
tip to tip,
right,
knuckle deep, in, swabbing the brain. Just lean forward real quick.
Exactly.
Partial lobotomy real quick. So like, how much do you? Cause
you go in at like an inch and a half or so. And you go as far as you can go, and it does cause coughing, sneezing, nasal drainage, and such. So
that would scare me away from doing the test.
it's recommended if you're suspecting flu or whatever that person is infectious and can transmit those virus particles or whatever. So it's better to keep them in a contained area and make sure that there's nobody else around, of course, because they're going to.
Because you're gonna hit them. And then with the throat swab, is it the same? Like you're like just kind of gagging them?
Yeah, so there's like the tonsil glands and such, so you just kind of rub in there, you know.
Hit the sides.
Hit the sides, back of the tongue,
Oh,
if anything.
you must get some gags in.
You can, yeah.
Don't. You said it like it's an achievable. It's something you're trying to achieve.
Well, sometimes. You feel better after you vomit, right?
Well, not when I'm trying to take a swab. Let me just get a nasal one real quick. And they swab. Oh. Nah, I remember those. I remember taking those. Oh.
Yeah.
The nose one. Like, tear up.
So, like, the interesting thing, too, is we have an extension of spring break, right?
What is it, like, extended, like, 14 weeks?
Yeah.
It's extended a
Hopefully
long
not that
time.
long time. The last I heard was, like, another week and a half, 2 weeks. Is that?
All I know is that I think...
Till further notice or something.
Yeah, I think we're going to finish off our semester online.
Uh-huh.
Our classes for UH. So I don't know how the schools are going to do it, but...
The primary schools, right?
Because at my job, they're asking people if they have like childcare. If they don't have childcare, they're making accommodations.
Uh-huh.
It's like, if I had a kid,
Right.
I would just stay home and say, I have no childcare.
Yeah.
I'll just stay home if they're going to pay it. Like,
Right.
it's like maternity leave.
Something like
You
that.
get to hang out with your kid, get to know him,
Right?
teach him things. Fuck, I would use it like maternity leave.
So this $2 trillion.
$2.2 trillion stimulus. Good grief.
They're giving out numbers. I didn't really read anything.
Stacia can look it up.
I'll get
They have figures.
What I heard was $1,200 per single person, and then another $500 per child. So, not single person. So every adult, I guess, working adult. So
I think you said it right though, because it's off of taxes. So
right.
Single is the term, right?
Yeah.
So I think you said it right.
And so you have this lump sum of money that's supposed to last you a certain period of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what person or what family do you think could live for 2-3 weeks on that amount of money? Right? Exactly.
I don't even think the thing is like the thing that's crazy to me is like you're working.
Right.
You're essential, of course, but I'm working. I'm not that essential.
Mm-hmm.
Stacia's essential, but I mean, I know people might get mad about this, but like in Hawaii, we're still working. So why should we get money?
Yeah.
We're still working. People
exactly what I thought too.
People that are completely quarantined, that can't do anything, that are at home not getting paid, like those are the people that should be getting the money, not us. Like we're still getting paid.
Right.
I just worked like an 18-hour shift on Tuesday, so we're working. Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean, huh? But the 2.2 trillion stimulus like package about like where was that before?
Right.
Why are we just getting it now when we could have helped? Maybe we could have.
It's a conspiracy theory.
We could have gave it to people before to help prevent it. Maybe
Yeah, exactly.
like why do we? We're not a We're not. I don't even know the word for it. We react there.
Right.
We're reactive. We react to things. We're not proactive. We're not proactive. Exactly. I mean, look at China. Look at Italy. Okay, China had it first.
Yeah.
Boom, huge thing, crazy. And I saw a picture, which was like the craziest thing. I'm an equipment operator, not the best, but I'm an equipment operator. I consider myself that. But I seen a picture of like them constructing a hospital in Wuhan in, I don't know how much it was, but it was like a week or a month or something, like something crazy, a crazy number. And I seen a picture of a land, it must have been like 2 acres, and there was just like 50 or 60 excavators, big excavators, bro, just like working. I was like, oh, that's crazy. They were just jamming to construct an immediate or emergency hospital for the afflicted, right? So I was like, oh, that's so sick. That's dope. They got hit. They did whatever they needed to do. Italy got hit. They're still like doing their in lockdown. They're doing whatever they need to do. We got hit. What the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean? Like we're the third to get hit. We see China, we see Italy, and then we see us. And maybe we're the highest because we're the third. So it's just like coming down the line. But at the same point, are we the highest because we're not learning from the two in front of us? I don't know. It's just kind of different. That's like how I'm thinking about it. It's like kind of different.
Right.
Like, what are we doing to fight it? Like we're okay. So we've seen that happen to them. We've seen it happen to them, and then we just let it happen to us. And then, Hawaii, we're not in any kind of lockdown,
right,
or quarantine. Like, oh, stay home if you. I drive around. I'm working. I'm like, oh, those people must be essential. They must be going to do something essential.
Right.
Like, nobody's really taking it that serious. It's just like, when it comes, I guess. So.
I think the good thing about our island is we have 2 major airports, right? And one, minor, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that correct?
Yeah, 2 major, 1 minor, 2 ports.
2 ports. And so, I mean, we can easily control the people coming in, right? There's only 2 airports, and there's only so many flights a day. But the big cities like LA, New York, I don't even know who flies into New York, but I'm assuming they have hundreds of flights a day.
New York, they have Jersey too, right? That's where we flew into on stage. Newark, yeah, New Jersey, right? And it's only like 45 minutes away from New York.
Yeah.
So, like you're saying, New York might have one, but you know, Jersey has one. Like there's states around it that
right.
They're only like 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away. They're a bridge away. So it's like, hey, stop everyone from flying into New York. Okay, well, you don't want us to fly into New York? We'll fly into New Jersey. We'll fly into, other places. Pennsylvania. We'll fly into Maine, Ohio. You know what I mean? Michigan. We'll just drive in. So it's like, what can you do? You can't really do much unless you're just like completely stopping.
Yeah.
That's what Trump kind of did, right? He kind of, all international travel, he cut it off in like February.
Right. And the interesting thing too is China had their first case in December.
Was it December or was it earlier?
I think it was
December.
December.
So they had it in December.
So, I mean, if you think about it, we're not going to just respond or react to just 1 or 2 cases all the way across the ocean, right?
Right.
But once it comes full blown, which it did in February, right?
I assume it wasn't in February because we're in March,
January.
Yeah. So it must have been pretty escalated by then.
Right. And all of this has been predicted, right? All of this was predicted by researchers.
Oh.
And
didn't Bill Gates say something about it in a TED Talk? I seen something like he said something. I don't know what it was specifically, but he commented on it. So what did the researchers say? Was it before they realized the coronavirus?
This is like year or more ago that they predicted some type of infectious disease originating in Asia and then just spreading across the world, the globe, and just causing economies to shut down, and because no one's prepared for that.
Why did they make that though? They're saying it's gonna happen because no one's prepared for it.
Right. So they just investigated on what protocols each continent, each country has for dealing with a new disease.
And they said this is gonna happen because you're not prepared for it.
Yes.
Or this is gonna happen because no one's prepared for it.
Exactly.
Bless you. People are prepared. There's people that are prepared for this and that, but nobody's prepared for this. So this is gonna happen. Didn't SARS come from China?
Right.
So SARS came from China. Bless you. Coronavirus came from China.
Where did MERS come from?
MERS came from Egypt. I told you this.
MERS.
It came from camels, right?
Origin.
Yeah.
Is that your 4th or 3rd?
That is my 3rd. I think maybe I should drink from a can the next one. What?
I think you just have a...
I just think it's easier. Maybe we'll switch. Oh, you drink from the cup. Next one, I'll drink from the can. I think it is easier. That's why. It's not restricting.
Yeah.
But did you see videos of those wet markets?
Wet
markets.
That's
what it's called, Stage.
What?
Wet markets in China.
Oh, you're talking about
China.
Live something?
Yeah, it's called wet markets, right?
Animals?
Bro, did you see videos about that?
No.
they have just like cages of just stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my god.
Dogs,
Frogs.
cats.
those are those things are
You can buy in your local market.
those things are normal, right? It's like whatever. I see a dog over here, I see a cat over here.
Are we talking about China?
China, you go into a wet market in China, you can buy like a porcupine. You can eat a porcupine tonight.
Wow.
You got like skunks in cages, like bats, like shit that you don't see on a normal daily basis. Like,
Yeah.
and they just got them. They just got them like things, and that's the shit they're eating.
Right.
Stage, look at the population of China real quick.
I'm looking at some of the pictures. Oh my gosh.
What are you looking
as
at?
soon as you said bats, like there was a dead bat hanging.
I'm pretty sure.
They smacked the backs, bro. Boom, boom.
I'm pretty sure.
Saute them.
Oh my
It's a
gosh.
billion.
Thousand. Yeah. I
A
was just
billion
I
thousand?
counted the commas. 1,408,000,000.
1.4.
Yeah.
1.4 billion.
26.
Okay.
I wanted to say that out loud.
What about America?
America.
America's.
America.
Why didn't like Russia get hit with the
327.
million? So we got 1.4 billion in China, right? And then we got, what was it, 3.27?
327.
327 million here. I feel like we got, it's kind of the same, huh?
Like a fifth.
Can you draw the line
Which line?
from between U.S. and I can't see where it ends.
Here's
US
USA?
and
Oh,
Canada.
oh,
You know
it's
what I mean?
like,
I
it's
can't
up
see.
here.
Okay. So there.
Straight line.
Okay.
So we
It's
have this
probably a little
small
bit-
section.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than China.
Yeah, China's a little bit bigger. But they have, what is that, 700 million more people? Right? That's 1.4 billion minus
700?
yeah,
Isn't it
300 million, right? We
They
have
have 300 million. They have 1.4, so they
billion.
have 1 billion more people, right?
What?
1.4 billion versus 327 million.
Right, so what
they
is
have-
They have 1.1 billion more people.
holy is that it?
Yeah.
I thought we just add 700 million to our 300 million and we'd get
because
one.
we thought it was just 1 billion, but it's 1.4.
Oh,
billion.
so it's like
1,400,000,000.
oh, so they do have it's 400. Oh, they have a wait. So they have a billion more people than us.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right, though. Is that right?
That sounds.
That's
Yeah.
a
No,
fucking
that's not
lot.
right.
That's a fucking lot.
You know why?
Well,
Why?
they've been around longer.
Wet market.
But that's a fucking lot, though.
Well, they've been around longer, right?
But I thought you only could have like a son and a daughter, and they were like
For a
fucking
period of
people
time,
up.
yeah, for a
Are
period
you
of time.
embarrassed?
But prior to that,
No,
is
they
like,
should go back to that. They got a billion more people than we do.
No,
They have
after that-
3,000 years on us or
After
something.
that, it's just like.
They've been around for.
Oh, bruh, that's just hard to fathom. We have almost the same. Can you look up the square footage
It's the same.
or square?
It's the same as Big Island, 185,000 people. To
It's worse.
Iceland.
It's way worse.
Iceland is 300,000 people, but if they were there for 3,000 years, they would have, four or five times as
We're
much
only
people.
like. So China's 3.7 million.
3.7 million square miles.
Yeah. And
3.7.
USA is 3.79.
So we're relatively the same, but they have a billion more people. They have a billion more people in. That's why they eat random shit. Cause they gotta eat random shit. There's
not enough.
There's not enough for anything. They could eat rocks and they'd eat themselves into fucking nothing. Holy hell!
Wait, so how much? I wonder how
What?
the virus affected them, like population.
They probably didn't at all.
0.2.
Well,
Fucking
the infection-
0.0002%.
Right, or more.
And if you looked at it, it's like 0.000001%. You're like, oh, that's nothing. And you look at it, it's like, oh, that's like 600 million. Like, what the fuck? If you look at their population, that's fucking crazy.
It's mind blowing.
I can't, because when you said it, I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. But if that's right, that is fucking, that's fucking bad, dude.
Pretty nuts.
They have, I mean, I guess it's the population of New York per capita,
Yeah.
if we're using that right. But for every state, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if every state was populated like New York, we'd probably be the same.
Oh, yeah.
We'd probably be the same as China.
Easy.
And we'd be fucking eating, toenails and stuff.
Camel toe nails.
Oh.
Camel. We'd be eating camel toe nails. Oh, man. I can't even... Is China the most populated country in the world?
Yep. That I'm 100% sure.
That on a,
100% sure on that one.
that on a spelling bee, you'd get it?
Yeah.
Huh, it's China, then India,
That I would have guessed too.
then us.
What is India's population? Because they're about the half the size of
Like,
China.
70 million less.
No.
So,
Then
okay,
China.
Then China.
Wait, 70 million people?
So there's
Yeah.
still
Less
1.3.
people. Yeah, so they're 1.3.
There's no way. There's no way. Look how much smaller India is to China. And if there's only 70
And they're
million
right
people
next to each
Hold on, right
other.
next to each other. And they're both the origins of MERS, SARS, and... Isn't that funny?
What? Did I say
What?
India or Egypt?
You said India.
You pointed at India.
No, but did I say for MERS? I thought Egypt was.
Oh, I'm
You did
so sorry.
say. You did say.
Yes, you did.
I don't know where. Did you look it up? What is it?
What?
Where's the?
MERS, it said, it just said... I totally forgot what it said.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
All these
Go get him, boss. That's what happens.
I don't know how your bladder holds all that liquid, bro.
No, bro. I'm gonna go right after you go.
It just says Middle East. Funny, because I don't know. I'm not. For some reason, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. Well, at the, right now we have. Is it 7?
On the Big Island.
Big Island.
Fuck, I don't even know.
Yesterday was 5, and I think today went up by 2.
Because the test results are coming back, or
Basically, yeah.
There's no way to. Bro, there's
taking so long to get the test results too.
so it could go up.
no way because there's no way to. I think it's gonna go way up.
And the criteria is so strict to even get a test. So if you go to the drive-through, because we do now have 2 or 3 drive-through testing sites, and it's open certain hours. But if you go there,
10 to 2 at Hilo Medical Center.
Exactly. So if you go there and you don't answer the questions to how it, I guess, validates or
You're fine.
yeah, it's
You're fine.
just go home. You're at high risk, but just self-isolate. Basically, lock yourself in your house or.
How much money does it cost to test that?
That's a good question.
To send people home instead of test them sounds like it's like $200 to $500 to test it.
So many test cases that you have.
Right. And each facility has been issued by diagnostic labs or clinical labs or HMC, which is clinical labs. But they have sent out to different facilities a certain amount. So for my facility, it was at first was only 10, and then they sent 5, and then they sent another 10.
They only said 10 at first?
Right.
How many patients do you have?
They have sent out to different facilities a certain amount. So for my facility, it was at first was only 10, and then they sent 5, and then they sent another 10.
They only said 10 at first?
Right.
How many patients do you have?
240, 230.
And they sent 10 tests.
Yes.
Which explains why the drive-through is real critical, I guess.
Okay, from your medical background, which you have extensive, what is the difference between the flu test and the coronavirus test?
For our side, where we're actually doing the tests,
Yeah.
nothing.
So
I can tell you right now, we have more COVID-19 tests than we do have of flu.
what? So why did they send you only 10?
That's a question for them.
Conspiracy theory shit right now. This is some crazy shit right now.
Right. I think it's to limit panic.
Oh.
I think it's to limit panic. So if you look at Oahu, right, they have 90-something confirmed cases.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Currently, we still have no deaths. Right? Whereas other states are having, hundreds of deaths.
I think somewhere in America they had the first teen death.
Yeah.
Recently.
Right.
But okay, so
but it's unclear whether that guy was immunocompromised or not.
They always say coronavirus difficulties, right? That's what they say when people die of, I guess, coronavirus.
Okay.
So what would you say if they said, okay, there's a obvious outbreak, right? Obvious outbreak. China, Italy. Yeah. Obvious outbreak. We're going to send a test kit home to every house. Okay? Swab it. Throw it in a container. Send it back. You think that would work?
And what are you trying to...
I'm trying to see if you have it, or if she has it, or if I have it. Just, they don't want tests to go out because they don't want panic. But what if you sent tests out to everyone as almost like to diffuse panic?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You can.
Because how many people are going to actually do the test?
True that.
Right? Or how many people are going to send a negative test when they're positive?
Okay, but
there has to be a control, right?
It has to be some kind of control. How many people do you think? How many registered nurses? Not even registered. CPAs, even
license.
So what does license mean? Sorry.
License mean you took a test.
But does that make you an RN?
No.
Or does that make you so you could be a licensed nurse. You could be an RN.
Registered nurse.
CPA.
CNA. So
CNA.
Certified nursing assistant.
Okay. Is that it? Those two?
So those aren't actually CNAs are not licensed nurse. They have a certificate that says they have the training and they're competent to assist nurses. There's a state test, yeah.
But they took it.
Right, and they passed.
So only RNs and CNAs would have a license. So how many people do you think on the Big Island would fall into that category?
So each facility has a number of licensed nurses, and some of them are in administration, and some of them are floor nurses, some of them are managers. So depending on what facility would determine the amount of nurses they have. So hospitals are going to have
a lot,
quite a few,
right?
And then long-term care facilities like mine, hospice, or hospice, or even home care businesses, providers.
There you go. It sounded right in my head.
They're gonna have considerably less.
But they're gonna have right. So in your place of business, how much do you think you have? Just a rough number, and round up.
Okay, round up.
Round up, for the sake of the conversation.
50.
50, okay, and then rounding way up or rounding considerably up.
15 plus.
50. You went from 50
15.
to 15.
No,
15.
So 15 plus. So
okay,
like
15.
So my number was around 35, 40, and then
Okay.
I just rounded up to 50.
Okay, 50. We'll go 50. And then so rounding up considerably, Hilo Medical Center. Must
80 to 90.
Okay, so we got 130, and then or 140, and then we go to Kona.
Probably a little bit, probably the same as us, maybe like
Same as you guys, 50,
60.
50, 60. So we're at about 200.
Yeah.
And then we get all the small ones.
Mm-hmm.
All
the small ones probably be like 300.
All the small ones put together would be 300. Or as a whole, Big Island.
Yeah.
So Big Island, we have about 300.
Oh, there's another hospital. There's two
Oh,
other
Kohala,
hospitals, right?
Is there one in
There's
Kohala or Waimea?
Hospital, and then there's North
Ka'u.
Hawaii Community, and then
No.
there's also Community Ka'u, right? Ka'u.
So what would you put a number on the Big Island? About
Between
500, right?
350, 450.
3 and 450. Okay. And then what did we say was the population of Hawaii?
185.
185,000. 350, 200. Can you divide that, Sage?
You can get a test online.
Can you divide that? 185,000 divided by 400.
Did you say you can get a COVID test online?
Yeah, they have one for SARS.
Oh, for SARS.
Yeah, but it's not. Divided by what?
What did you put in?
185,000 divided by
400.
462.5.
So 463 people per one. Ooh, I guess that's kind of out there.
It's kind of out there.
It's kind of out there. But, okay, so what is... Okay, so there's RN, right? CNA. And then is there any other down the line?
There's that licensed practical nurse, LPN.
LPN. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else? That's pretty much it?
There's practitioners are considered like providers.
Well, even doctors.
Yeah.
Doctors. I'm just trying to figure out, like, if
Who
you could...
can administer the tests to the 185
adequately
people that we have on our island.
Just to the point where it's not, it's not a panic situation. It's just an awareness.
Right.
If we have all of the people of the Big Island distributed, or not even distributed, just, I don't know, man.
It's hard because now
hard.
you're also going to be waiting those 3 to 7 days to get the results.
And you have population in one area.
So that itself is going to cause panic, I think. But if you limit to those who have symptoms, which is what they're doing, is come to the drive-thru. If you have symptoms, have somebody drive you. We'll test you if you meet the criteria. Mm-hmm. Which I think, honestly, overall for our island, for our side of the island, maybe, I don't know, the actions that the government and the Department of Health have implemented is the correct action.
Well, that's why they get paid the big bucks, huh?
And it's not always where something is implemented and I'm like, oh, wow, that's really good.
That's a good
freaking idea.
Of course, right?
Right.
Well, this one was a good idea, though.
Exactly.
You think this one was a good one?
It's more like, we got to do this. Why the fuck are we doing that? Like,
yeah. What is that? So
why?
So you thinking, or how I see it is they strike out a lot.
Yeah.
But this one, they hit a home run.
Right.
This is the one.
But at the same time, my experience level, I guess, my years on the job, I'm kind of limited at the same time. So I haven't been exposed to previous incidences.
Well, I think, I honestly think that kind of puts you forward more than holds you back. Because most of the time, like, sometimes experience, it...
oh, yeah, it can hinder.
It kind of blinds you up.
Right.
So I think you coming from not having experience kind of showed you, like, oh, they shouldn't be doing this. But how you're seeing it is like, oh, this is a good idea. You know, must be one because you don't have experience of too much bad ideas.
And the general idea or the general feeling is to overreact.
Of course.
Right? You want to overreact in case. You know.
Yeah, you overcompensate.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think like how could we have done it better? You know?
I know exactly. It's just the time between China had 1,000 cases already. We have flights and shipments going back and forth
China.
at 1,000 cases already, and you're not gonna do anything yet.
Right?
I don't know where Wuhan is in relation to
Stash,
China.
can you
Oh my
Can you Google Wuhan, China, so we can kind of point it out? If it's by the A, the N, the I, the H, or the C.
I say we have these longitudinal
Oh yeah,
latitude,
yeah. Longilati.
long. What is it? I forget.
Fuck, I don't know. Can you Google that too, Stage? Which way is longitude? No.
So
No, I remember long
where's Taiwan?
is
Where
long.
do you see Taiwan?
And la.
Oh, you
I
see? No, we got.
Asia should be able to see Taiwan.
No, we got no Taiwan.
Taiwan,
We got Nepal,
Yellow Sea,
So it's a little.
Bhutan. Is that
it's a little-
Bhutan?
so
Thailand.
Taiwan is a little.
Malaysia.
So if
No.
find Taiwan.
Oh, yeah, Taiwan.
Okay, find Taiwan and go a little bit up and a little to the left.
Okay.
There.
So right around here.
So it's like one,
That's
like
Wuhan.
115 east, and like 30 north.
17.
1.07. 107.
Oh, 107. Okay, and then what is the north?
30.2.
30.2.
right there.
Yeah,
30
right
on the
there.
money.
We're right there.
Perfect.
We're fucking
Okay,
mapologists.
So the
We're
reason why I
mapologists.
asked
We fucking
the
got it.
location of Wuhan is most likely the industries with the manufacturing of goods and such that is being shipped to us.
Straight this way. Oh, we're fucking here first. They probably hit us first. God
So
damn.
we're just thinking like the amount of goods that we get from China, right?
Yeah.
At 1,000 cases, even 5,000 cases, we should have been like starting already. But I think we didn't start until they was almost POW already.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because we didn't take precautions.
So it depends on the severity of, based off the country. Like China was.
I think it
people were
depends on
falling
our
left and
leadership. They seen, like he was saying, they seen 1,000 cases. Like, oh, we get, I don't know what the number is. Shipments. Can you look that up? Shipments from China to America, like in a day. We get that much, and there's 1,000 cases. Like, how much it spread and how much they should have been taking kind of precautions, right?
Right, already.
Yeah, from 1,000 cases, or from the first case in December. Like, oh, this is a new virus. This is a new disease. Shit.
But understand too, like how that affects those businesses, and how that affects us getting our medications. Most of our medication, our generic medications, come from China.
Do you think that's a problem?
That is a problem.
What do you think? Do you think we should be making them here?
Of course.
Okay. How do you think we should do that?
We do have pharmaceutical companies in the States, but
They won't take a dollar compared to a $5.
right. Exactly.
So do you think it's corporate greed?
That's probably among other reasons, yeah.
You don't think that's the number one reason? I think
Yeah.
that's the number
Yeah.
one reason.
Yeah, that's top 3 for sure.
I think, like, coming from, where we live in Hawaii and like not needing much, if they're selling an aspirin for $10 and I can make it and sell it for $1, I would be the generic guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'll be that guy. So we don't have to go to China. Just fund me to make the generic version of it. And it'll be like, it's just this guy that's on the side. He's a generic version guy.
Right.
I'll take it instead of China. Give me the money instead of giving it to China, right?
Right. So they'll give you $3 million to open up manufacturing pharmaceutical.
And they'll give me all the pills and all the chemicals and everything like that, and then they'll just give me stupid colors instead of red and blue of Tylenol. They'll give me like yellow and orange. Right? Nobody wants to take a pill that's yellow and orange. Right? It's a generic brand. But yeah, give it to me. Why are you gonna give it to China? Fuck that. Give it to me. Right?
Right.
I don't know. Is that wrong thinking?
I mean, I'm sure there's millionaires and billionaires in the United States that would welcome, investing in their own little
soil, right?
Right, in their own soil to.
But what is $1 to me, where I've lived in America my whole life, and $1 to somewhere that is off of America, right? How much more is it worth there?
That's true.
So yeah, they're giving me $1, but if they go to someplace else, they're giving them $15.
And a couple frogs.
And a bat. And a fucking porcupine. Bro, they had some weird shit, bro. One of my coworkers sent me a video. Bro, they had some weird stuff. They had like skunks.
I remember in Rush Hour, the first Rush Hour. Was it the first? Yeah. First Rush Hour. Jackie Chan says, camel's hump. He's eating camel's hump. Whether or not that was actual camel's hump, I would never know because they were in Hollywood or Los Angeles.
They do some weird shit. Like I'm pretty sure that's where Mars is from. MERS. That's what it's called, MERS.
Or SARS.
No, MERS.
MERS.
That one was from camels. Right, Sage? What do you mean you don't know?
So what does MERS stand for? Because I'm familiar with MRSA.
What does MRSA stand for? Wait. What does MRSA stand for?
It's methicillin-resistant streptococcus or...
Right, staph, right?
Staph.
Some super staph.
Yeah,
so MRSA, right?
Exactly.
Okay, what is MERS?
It says Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, coronavirus. MERS-CoV.
So yeah, it's a type of COVID.
But it's from camels, right?
And that hit when?
Stay show.
Checking.
No, because that one...
I don't see anything camels. In 2012, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for the word camel.
So it sounds
well, you
like
said SARS came from bats. So if they're coming from animals...
So I think one of the reasons why MERS didn't get across the globe is because Egypt, what is the population of Egypt, right? Versus what is the population of China?
A fucking lot.
Right?
Bruh. China has 1 billion more people than America. Can you guys imagine that?
So Egypt is 97.5 million.
So this is
97.
I have to thank you for this experience because it is illuminating and it is...
How did you get so much head on that?
What happened there?
I kind of poured it.
There's so much head on that. What the fuck happened?
Show it to the people.
Oh my gosh, they can see it. They don't even need to zoom in. There's so much head on that one.
So there's a thing, people, there's a thing in between stiff head and not stiff head. Whatever. What is soft? Soft head.
Stiff and soft head.
What are we talking about again?
We're talking about the head. No, because you can tell right now, right? He's going to explain it. You can see it.
stiff head. If it continued to produce that carbon dioxide bubbles, it would have raised, a good half inch, maybe 1 inch, and it would have been perfectly uniform. In this case, the glass is kind of tapered out, so it could have gone out a little bit more and then spilled over. But on your basic Pilsner glass that has kind of a nice taper to a pretty a good lip, I guess, it would have just rose up and then eventually settled.
So what do we have here?
This is a relatively stiff head because it did rise, a good 3/8 of an inch.
So what would a soft head look like? It just would have just crumbled in?
Yeah, it would have just went right over.
Oh, it would have outward?
Yeah.
So the head came up this way and it was like, oh, cherry.
Right.
Soft would have been like, I can't handle myself.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So, what are we talking about? MERS? SARS. MERS. And there went the head. Oh, because what were we talking about before that?
MERS.
We were talking about camels.
Yeah.
I don't see where.
The reason why it didn't spread from here. What is this here? What is this called?
This
Here.
is Africa.
The continent. The continent of Africa. Well, what is it called? Middle Eastern.
No, this is Middle East.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up here.
So Egypt, right? The reason why it didn't travel, MERS didn't come here, is because we don't have camels here. That's why MERS stayed here, because it was in the camels. That's why SARS came here, because SARS had transmitted with the bats.
So it has nothing to do with people flying and passing it on to each other?
Are you talking about vampires?
Yeah.
No.
People flying.
No, SARS. So the vampires, SARS came to the U.S. No, but MERS, the camels, they couldn't fly.
I refuse to believe this.
Why? Just put MERS
I did.
and then camels
Okay.
and see what comes up. I don't know. It might be wrong, but it sounds right, right?
Right.
There's bats over here, SARS. Camels over here, not camels. It's MERS. It stayed there. Right?
But the thing about MERS and SARS is that the virus, what is that word?
I feel like I know it.
So the flu, every year it...
I feel like the bad word for it is like transforms. Like it transforms.
It transforms. It
yeah.
Evolves.
Yeah. See, like I know the bad word for it, like the not what you're trying to say.
It, yeah. F word. But yeah. So flu every year, every so many months or whatever, every season.
It grows into something else.
Grows,
right?
and it changes its makeup, its DNA makeup, so that we are no longer as resistant to that previous strain. So the same thing with MERS and SARS is it jumped that species gap to where it only infects camels or it only infects bats, to where, oh, this guy has blood too, and this blood is only a little bit different.
Jump to that guy.
Jump to that guy. So it's makeup, it's DNA makeup, for lack of a better term, whatever that term is.
We'll figure it out in like 15 minutes.
Right. So it adapts.
Yeah.
And adapts to being able to infect another host. And that's how the virus works. It infects the host, it replicates itself. One virus.
It's like Terminator.
What's the time period on this?
Like the newest Terminator.
So that's the thing. So the There's a term for that too. Freaking double overhead.
She go, bro. She go. Okay, so we're talking about here, right?
There's something period.
Oh no, I'm not trying to figure that out. We just gotta talk it out.
Okay.
Oh no, we'll figure it out. We gotta talk it out.
Yeah.
But I'm not like it'll come by accident. So what we're saying here is that, say a bat, right? So it started with a bat, SARS, right?
Right.
So it's like, oh, what a bat. It's like, oh, this guy get blood, and it's pretty cherry. It's makeup. It's chromosomes or whatever it is, right?
Right.
The makeup is cherry. And then the bat bit a human, say.
Mm-hmm.
Or not even that.
Or the
bat
human
sneezed.
bit the bat.
Motherfucker. That's probably what happened. That's actually probably what happened.
Wet market?
Wet market. The bat was like, I'm just going to go home to my family. Human was like,
oh.
Bat was down. Host dead. Right? Host is dying.
Right.
Disease. Oh man, we're gonna die too.
Virus.
Right? Virus is like, oh man, I'm gonna die. Human, smart human is like, oh, like an embryo.
Because viruses aren't considered living things.
What are they considered?
They're considered non-living things.
In what? In like
they have no motility. They don't move.
Okay.
By themselves, like in a fluid or in any type of media, they won't.
So they're like
swim.
stagnant.
Yeah.
So they're stagnant. Like if a virus is on this table, it'll just die on this table unless I pick it up.
Exactly.
So, it says they can't do anything until they enter a living cell.
Exactly.
Which would
Therefore,
be my skin cell.
living things.
Skin cell. Or for you, the easiest place would be the mucous membrane, because you have a lot of vasculature in your mouth. You have a lot of vasculature, which meaning blood vessels in your eyes.
So they're not living.
They're not living. It's pretty.
But how do they die then? Like if they're on this table and they don't touch anything that they can.
They die by not replicating. So each virus molecule does have a time where they can only live. Live is the wrong word.
Yeah, it is the wrong word, because that's where I was just about to say. Like, how can you not be living but die?
So I think it's the atmosphere, or it's the external, radiation or temperature or anything that can not destroy, but like, kind of.
Without cells, viruses would not be able to multiply.
So multiplication is their
The way it thrives.
almost their living, if not to the point where they need to live like how we live,
right,
or live on something. It's if they're not multiplying, they're
like
dying.
Parasites. They are kind of like parasites, where they will go into a cell and they will utilize the
host
machinery in the cell, the working devices, to reproduce more of themselves.
Yeah.
Versus them themselves reproducing, like
so they're dependent.
Very dependent. Yeah.
Is what we're saying. They're dependent, and if they're not, so basically their dependency is their livelihood.
Right.
If there's nothing to depend on, they will die. If they can't multiply, they'll die.
Exactly. So in scale, if I can remember correctly, if this map was a bacteria cell or an animal cell,
The fuck is huge.
the virus would be like smaller than this can of beer.
Oh, it'd be like here, like that's
Right. It would
maybe
be one of these numbers, one of these coins on here.
And they would just use
attaches
it
itself, or gets absorbed into the cell, and then the DNA inside of the virus gets taken up into the nucleus of the cell, and it implants itself into that.
Do you think that cell, that virus, is a part of natural selection or natural?
Of course, like,
or do you think
survival of
use
the
it?
virus? Just naturally they evolved into being parasites, or not even parasites, being like.
So think about this. So this is a
It's like venom.
So venom or anything. This is a parasite,
I
right?
haven't watched Venom yet.
Oh my god.
Dude, you haven't been to Maui.
Never watched Venom.
You never watched Venom. Should we
Never went
go?
to Iceland.
Should we go to Maui
I don't
and
have
watch
time
Venom?
to watch. I don't have time to watch movies.
We should go to Maui on your next 3-day weekend and watch Venom.
Where are you? Halfway?
Oh, not even. No way.
Are we explaining that?
No, that's yours.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll say this, right? So if this is a virus, right? Say it's SARS or whatever it is, a virus that uses
Leo virus.
Leo virus. This. Well, let's choose a better number then. Go with 3. So 3 is a Leo virus. Okay, that was my number.
Mine is 5.
3 and 5. Okay, Leo viruses, right? Stacia, you want one? 23? 3, 23, and 5 is Leo viruses, right? Among 80. Do you think that we could use these viruses that come in and have nothing else to do with this, what was it, organism? What did we use? Cell? Okay, they have nothing else to do with this cell but to replicate themselves and damage the cell, right? Do you think there's a way that we could manipulate them to use their energy for good? You know what I mean? Like, they don't know what they're doing. This is my mechanism.
So I think
reverse it then.
Not even reverse it, just use its mechanism to produce energy.
There's research on like cancer and different diseases to have specific viruses that target certain cells, specific cells.
Mm-hmm.
So in the sense that virus only attacked camels, viruses would only attack cancer cells in the lungs, right? Or cancer cells in the brain,
right?
And that is research that is currently going on.
But you know what I mean, though, right? Like you like viruses, they'll attach themselves to cells, and they have just a mechanism, just mechanics,
right?
That they use. I don't know what it is, but they'll put something here, and then it'll use it there, and it'll come from there, and it'll go back to here, and then it'll. So to, like, you know what I mean? Like, if we could use, like, whatever this little virus is doing to put here,
right?
And we just manipulate that, and we put it into solar or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
these things, they don't work off of energy, or they do work off of energy, of course, but they don't work off of, like you said, they don't work off of sugar or.
Right. They don't use nutrients. They use the cells.
It's multiplication of it, right? Mm-hmm. So if we could manipulate, if they're multiplying four times, if we use 3 out of the 4 times.
What is the term? Viral therapy. That's what.
Viral therapy. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Well, it focuses mainly on cancer cells, but it's pretty much it.
That's it, right? Like 4 times. If we use 3 out of the 4 times.
What is the term? Viral therapy. That's what.
Viral therapy. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Well, it focuses mainly on cancer cells, but it's pretty much it.
That's it, right? Like if we could manipulate the virus mechanism, right?
And target certain.
Or even not even target it, but just if we got a big enough virus, and then we used that and used it as small energy. Jeez Louise, piping over here. But we used the small energy and just multiplied it by billions. Like, could it be beneficial? You know?
Yeah.
Manipulate the virus to have the virus think or work as if it's working correctly, but it's working for us.
Oh, so you want to do like a whole change the freaking world?
Like if I say
reverse.
say if one of these was the flu, and I could manipulate this flu to think that it was
But you played God.
No. That's saying that God put in the flu, though. Do you really think?
People put the flu.
I think people put the flu in. You know what I mean? Yeah, like if I could put one of
these. It's a natural way of things, and I think a virus is a natural way of things.
I think you're right, though. I think you're right.
So, like, how do
Maybe
you...
it is manipulating God.
It would have to be, like, how biotherapy is. It would have to be in the lab where you're trying to figure that shit out.
Maybe it is manipulating God.
Oh, bro, you just went on a whole freaking roll right there.
Talk with AJ about it.
You have to explain it. You're better.
You're the one that said it, not me.
Well, I know Leo can live in like a 12 by 12 with a bed and a kitchen and a bathroom.
Yeah,
all inside.
I could.
So he's very comfortable here.
Oh, this is cherry. It's actually too big. Nah, it was actually, it was probably bigger than this, but it was just, it would be skinnier. And it was longer. It was a little different.
The next trip, I think, instead of, I know we were on something else. Instead of, we should go here.
Japan. No, dude, we're planning on going to Japan in June. And then
June.
And then the coronavirus hit. No, we were planning on going Japan in June.
I told you I was going here in June. Oh, June.
No, but this is cheap. This is good. We can go to June in here, and then we can go June there at the same time.
That's a lot of flying, bro.
I love flying.
You love flying?
I love flying.
Does he sleep the whole time?
He stays up the whole time.
I watch movies the whole time. Nah, but we're planning on going to Japan, and then this all this shit happened, and then you're like, oh, we're going over here in June. I was like, okay, and we're gonna go here and then go to there, or here and then go to there. I don't know which would be faster. Where were we gonna go here? Where were we gonna go here?
Like the Hershey. We go to Hershey Park.
No, what is the state?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. See, it was Pennsylvania. I was gonna say it. Say she wants to buy land in Pennsylvania.
And Maine.
I think Maine would be expensive.
Maine is nice.
Yeah, I think Maine is expensive. Pennsylvania is nice too, though.
Pennsylvania is kind of I only know from my childhood one section of central Pennsylvania, which is the Hershey, Palmyra, Lancaster, Allentown area.
Allen. Were you named after that?
I was named after my great uncle.
Allen
Drescher.
Allen. So it's you're named after your great uncle, and that's why you're Allen Jr.
Yeah. Well, I'm not Junior. I'm Alan Jonas.
Oh, that's why you're AJ?
Drescher, yeah.
God damn, what a goon. No, he told us that. I knew that. Jonas. I knew Jonas was
So the brothers of
the
Alan
Jonas brothers.
And Jonas.
Wait.
Alan and Jonas.
Alan and Jonas.
I was named after.
Oh, you're named after both of them.
Yeah.
Alan and Jonas.
Right.
Do the Jonas brothers know that?
I don't think so. But
think
I
we
think
gotta contact
there's
them.
at least 3 brothers.
Yeah, there are 3 Jonas brothers.
There's James, which is my
Station, can you look this up?
which my
What?
brother is
The Jonas
named
brothers.
after.
Okay, James.
My brother
Yeah.
is named after my dad, after my grandpa, after his father's uncles.
James, he's the 4th?
Right.
He's the 4th?
My brother?
Yeah.
Technically he is, but he doesn't have the same middle name.
James the 4th, bro. That's like medieval times.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a medieval
King
name.
James the Fourth.
King James the 4th. I'm going to call him that from now on. Every once in the 2 years that I see him. King James the 4th. How do you do? And he's going to be like, what the fuck? Every time Alan gets weirder and weirder friends.
So, if I remember correctly,
James
brothers,
home station.
I should say the brothers of my grandfather, whose name was James, is Alan and Jonas. And that's why I was named Alan Jonas.
Because you were just the second boy.
Yeah.
So it's like, James is the first one. We're only having one more. Alan Jonas. We got to name them both.
Which I'm very honored to have those names.
Amen to that, sir. Cheers.
You guys have good names.
Yeah. We're both named after people. So you're the second squared, though.
Indeed. And you are the
Third.
tripled.
Singled. You are the second squared, though, because you are Alan Jr. and Jonas Jr.
That's true.
Right? He's you're literally AJJ. I figure I knew that's why I called you that.
High five. Filipino high five.
AJJ. Wow, that's crazy. You're the most junior ever. You're the most juniored junior ever.
The only.
That's crazy though, because you are the junior of 2 people.
But yeah, I guess so.
You're AJJ. You're AJ squared.
The problem is I don't know much about my family tree, so I think there's a part of me that wants to know, that has like a yearning to know where my forefathers came from.
Let's go find out.
Right?
Yeah.
So I know my biological dad, who I am in contact with, could probably somehow tell me in a way, which is one of the reasons why I want to go back to Pennsylvania
and we will when the quarantine is up,
right?
Because we were planning on doing that.
That's true, and I do have vacation in, but I was telling them I was gonna fly into Arizona.
Wow, that's really far.
It's a little far, and then take a train to Pennsylvania.
Okay, you're gonna take a train through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 states.
8 states now.
At least 8. The route that I took was 8 states. We could have done like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Could have been 13. I don't know how to.
13 states, but we have to look at it and see what is the benefit of going through those other states.
Oh, I'm down with that. Hell yeah. Colorado. What's in Colorado?
I believe Pakalolo is legal there.
Yeah, okay. That's what's
a
in
lot of-
Colorado.
there's a lot of,
no, that's what's in Colorado.
Microbrews there.
Microbrews, legal marijuana, Auntie Ellen is in Colorado. She'd be super fun to hang out with. I'm done with that. I'm actually down with catching a train. The Amtrak, was that what you were gonna do?
That was what I researched for approximately 15 minutes, which kind of showed that the train cars are more geared towards a sleeping car and then like a socialization car.
You gotta buy one or the other.
You have access to both
Okay.
with one ticket.
Oh,
But
sorry.
it's probably more advisable to buy certain legs of the train trip versus buying one whole cross country,
Bless you.
basically cross country trip, and then jumping on and off sporadically.
It's
So
557.
Dollars for a Amtrak
No, it's a flight
to Pennsylvania.
from here to Arizona.
Okay.
Then we have to. Isn't that Amtrak? Right? Is
Yeah,
it the same?
yeah. Look at the Amtrak then. So 557 per person.
So
Yeah.
I think the benefit of the train is being able to mingle with weird.
Oh,
funny
you wanted
people.
to train though.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
At the same, yeah. But then, if there was other people accompanying me in my journey,
We should
in our
rent
journey,
a car, right?
we should just drive.
Yeah, I'd be down because we could stop in places. If we land in Arizona,
Yeah.
we could go to Colorado and see your auntie Stacia. And then there's so much other states. There's 4 states here. There's Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and Wyoming that we could go through. And then we go to South Dakota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas. I actually want to go to Iowa.
South Dakota, I think we can skip.
Oh,
Where's
yeah.
New Hampshire?
New
Oh,
Hampshire
it's
is
way
right
up.
above Pennsylvania and New York.
Okay,
Yeah,
no
it's-
place to eat there.
It's the upper place. I actually want to go to Iowa, and I want to wrestle someone.
You lose.
I would lose, but I want to wrestle someone.
Just someone
no,
on the street.
Iowa State or State should look up the wrestling. I think
remember tall Aaron O'Connor,
Iowa Hawkeyes?
who might
yeah.
eventually view this video. Shout out to Aaron O'Connor.
Yeah. Math teacher.
He is from Iowa.
So he's coming too.
He must.
And the only
Unless
reason
it's
I
on a
know
summer.
is that he's from Iowa because in my contact information on my phone, he is called Aaron, Iowa.
Now he knows.
Now he knows. But I know that Iowa and Missouri, Arkansas, they're wrestling states, right?
Aha!
If you are a good wrestler, you go to the Midwest and you do nothing but wrestle and eat potatoes.
Female, male, donkeys.
You could wrestle a donkey there, I'm sure.
Hey, Pennsylvania is actually number 1. Then it's Iowa.
For wrestling?
Yeah.
Motherfucker Jones.
My high school that I attended was big on there.
In Pennsylvania?
Yes.
You went to high school in
What
Pennsylvania?
high school?
I thought you went to Conowina.
No, I did. I graduated from Conowina.
So was you in 9th grade, 10th grade in Pennsylvania?
And one more grade.
What high
11th
school?
grade?
Yes.
You went to
How do you only know about this?
11th grade?
This
Yes.
whole- What high
But
school?
my 6th, 7th, and 8th, I was at Conowina.
Wow.
Wait, you graduated from Conowina.
Yes.
So you went 6, 7, 8 Conowina, went to Pennsylvania,
Which is,
and did 9, 10, 11,
yes.
and then went back to Conowina and did 12.
Yes.
That must have fucked you up.
I look at it where I have good friends in Hawaii,
Kona, yeah.
Kona, and I have good friends in Pennsylvania.
Because, yeah, you did fucking 7 years. You did 3 in Pennsylvania and you did 4 in Hawaii. Wow, that's cool. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
How was mainland high school?
High school is your typical, Fast and Furious Tokyo drift, right? We didn't have like security. We didn't have security. We didn't have like metal detectors at the entrances or anything like that. In my time, this is like 2003, 2004, right? And so you jump on the bus from your house, go to school, and you go to school. So you have 4 periods. You have a lunch. right?
To me, it sounds like you skipped a lot of school, so you're trying to like feel your way through this conversation.
No,
like,
I didn't.
He's like, didn't we all have like 4
periods?
for periods and lunch? Like you're trying to feel your way through this right now.
I know. My freshman year. What?
That's the 8th of them, right?
Sorry, so my
freshman year, right? 9th grade.
We all had physical education or swimming.
Oh, we didn't have that choice.
And then we had our 4 major: math, English, science, and what's that? History.
History, yeah.
That was the 4th. And then you could have a language and an elective.
So you had like 6, yeah.
So
7.
6, but certain days was certain classes and certain days was other classes. So 5 days a week, I think you had math, English, science, and social studies or history.
I think it was 8. I think you had 8 classes. So you had, like you said, you had math, science, English, history, and then you had PE, and you had like song or something, and you had 2 other electives, right? You had 3. They had 4 solids,
right?
Okay, yeah. So
or
we had
like art, or ukulele, or
did they serve ukulele in Pennsylvania?
No.
You should have.
Shop.
Yeah. So we had math, English, science, history, and then we had art, wood shop, fucking language, art, wood shop, language, and then one other one.
Like music or...
Yeah, I guess music would work.
Chorus. Band.
So you had like 4 solid and then 4 elective kind of thing. Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So in the mainland, I remember taking multiple electives in my 3 years there. Freshman, sophomore, and junior. I had like language, of course. I had art. And then I had... I never had music. But I had language again and...
What did you take?
Communication information.
What language did you take?
I took German.
Bruh, I wish we had fucking German that we could take.
Yeah.
Golly, man.
I took German because I have German heritage. If you look at my last name, Drescher. It's pretty friggin' German or Scandinavian or whatever you want to say.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But I would more than welcomely have taken Hawaiian.
I think that's the right word. Welcomely taken. I think if you use it that way, I think it works.
Yeah. Welcomely.
Now we're going off track. I think welcomely taken was kind of a stretch.
Welcomely taken Hawaiian. And I know in 7th and 8th grade we did have an option to take like a Hawaiian culture elective, which was at the end of the day.
That
like
is crazy.
1:30 to 2:15 or 1:15 to 2:15, where Miss whatever Diagir would teach.
Is that her name? Because she would probably be stoked if you remembered it. Diagir? Diagir?
Diagir, I think it was.
Diagir? Because I went to school at Diagir.
Yeah.
At Commandment Schools. Yeah,
Well,
Jordan Diagir.
I wanted to say my arch enemy was Micah Diagir.
Diagir?
Yeah.
Maybe that was his
But
older brother.
he wouldn't say the same thing because he's like the most loving and aloha man that I've ever met too. But at the same time, Micah, it's due to this double overhead IPA. Sorry. I love you.
I would fight him for you.
But yeah, his auntie.
Oh yeah, his auntie is cool.
The Hawaiian arts elective teacher for middle school, and we would learn different things. chanting, hulas. I don't think I would ever. Yeah.
So you used to fly. You flew from Hawaii to Pennsylvania and went to school for 3 years and then came back.
Not only that, my primary education, elementary years, every summer we would fly.
Oh, so James too.
Because I believe
I feel weird calling him James.
I know, doesn't it?
It's not like a
Jimbo.
personal.
His name is Jimbo.
Okay, Jimbo. That's
Jimbo.
super personal.
Jimbo.
So Jimbo used to fly with
Call
you.
your nephew
Yeah.
Jimbo.
And because his name is James. So that makes it super personal. So you and Jimbo used to fly all the way to Pennsylvania.
Every summer for 4 or 5 years. First, second, third, fourth grades. That's 4 years.
Oh, preschool. We'll go 5.
Yeah. Every summer we would spend those 2 months in Pennsylvania and then we would fly back. So I'm not unaccustomed to flying, and my big brother Jimbo would take care of me too on those flights where I would be feeling kind of, questionable.
Jimbo, how's his fruit? His fruit is still super
Oh,
big.
bruh. We gotta go up there.
I'm ready to go.
We gotta go up there.
We still have the lemon in our fridge because it's so big we didn't even eat it. No, we didn't open it because the fucking thing was so huge. So you and Jimbo used to fly. So when did it stop? When you guys graduated, it stopped?
So we moved back to Pennsylvania when I was in 5th grade. Halfway through my 5th grade year, my mom all of a sudden says, "Oh, we're moving back to Pennsylvania."
It's time.
Boom, fly back to Pennsylvania, and from 5th and a half grade to 6th grade,
You guys are in
lived
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
For a year and so many months. And then she says, "Oh no, it's not working out. We're going back to Hawaii." So halfway between 6th grade, we fly back to Hawaii.
Only what is that, like 5,000 miles?
Something like that.
Is that what is Pennsylvania to Hawaii, babe? Okay, so you gotta fly back to Hawaii. 6th grade.
Fly back to Hawaii. 6th to 8th.
6th to 8th
We
grade.
stay. Right? We stay. And then at the end of 8th grade, summer vacation. Oh, we're gonna go back to Pennsylvania. So we go back to Pennsylvania. We stay there for 3 years. So 9, 10, 11th grade for me. And for my brother.
Oh, so Jimbo graduated in Pennsylvania.
For my brother, he did do his 10th, 11th, and 12th, and he graduated.
Wow.
And he did his first year or so at one of the private colleges.
Wow.
Pennsylvania.
Fucking Jimbo.
Pre-med.
What is the distance between Hawaii and Pennsylvania?
4,730 miles.
You guys did 5,000 miles, bro, in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe not in air. You guys probably landed in California.
So I think what was more impressive was when we were 1st grade and he was 3rd grade, and we would fly.
Just fucking fly
by ourselves,
5,000 miles.
And my mom would stay in Hawaii, and we would just fly and go meet our dad.
So your mom wasn't there still then?
Yeah.
And she would just work them.
Right.
I mean, but I guess it's not. I mean, it's not a bash at her because the flight attendants are really good.
Oh.
Because
they
sit with you.
What I can remember, yeah.
And then they go to California. They walk
and
with
they
you to the next flight.
To the next terminal.
Yeah, and then they fly
get
with
into
you.
a little golf cart. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So they're
awesome.
I mean. But it's just crazy. It's flew 5,000 miles.
Interesting thing too is like back then we could do it. I don't know if they can do it nowadays. I think you would have to have some kind of chaperone that would.
I wouldn't want to do it nowadays.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird nowadays. People are super dumb. But the thing about people being dumb is like, if I see something happening that is stupid and I punch someone in the face, it's my fault. I can get sued. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our judicial system is fucked.
Yeah, it's.
If you're wrong,
leaning towards the culprit or the.
If you're wrong, you're fucking wrong, and that's what's up. You know what I mean? That's fucking what's up. But if I'm wrong and I'm wrong, like if I come up to you, if you're like escorting a child and I punch you in the face, and then that's your child, and I'm wrong. I should take the direct punishment from it. I shouldn't be like, oh no, but I thought this, but I thought that. No, I was wrong. Full on, I was wrong. But if I came up and I punched you in the face and I was right, I shouldn't be ridiculed for punching you in the face. That's right.
Right.
Yeah, right is right, wrong is wrong. But then you have all this kind of different shit about what is right, what is wrong, and then it gets diluted.
Right.
It's fully diluted.
Because the world is the world.
The world is the world.
And we've evolved and we've proliferated to, 4 billion people. How many people is in the world? 4 billion?
Well, 1.4 billion is in China. Those motherfuckers have a 1/4 of us.
Right?
But
I'm just saying, like, back then, when I say back then, I mean like hundreds of years ago, there was not nearly as much people. And so when you did something that you thought was right, more than likely everyone else thought that was right and you were okay. At least your peers and the people in the environment when the act occurred. But now with media technology, people are weighing in from 4,000 miles away, right?
Easily.
Easily. A mom or an auntie is getting belligerent with the police because she wanted to visit somebody. She gets arrested. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
That was today or yesterday.
So she wanted to visit an elderly?
Where was this?
Somebody here.
Oh my gosh.
So there's like kind of a type of lockdown to where we are slightly forbidden to come and visit our family members, just in the sense to prevent the transmission of potential COVID. Right? And so this person wanted to come visit their family member, and police in Hilo, somewhere. So it wasn't
a lockdown scenario.
No.
It was just at a house.
Right.
Okay.
From what I know. And so
they flew in from the mainland?
Local PD. I'm not sure actually. Let's let Stacia research that one.
Okay.
Local PD intercepted, and she became belligerent, and so they obtained her, or they secured her somehow, and she was confined for that.
Well, yeah, if you get stupid.
Yeah. Okay. All you had to do is say, oh, okay, sorry, and leave, right? Not get all nuts.
I actually could not be a cop. Because if you got belligerent, I would fucking grab you, and I'd lock you up, and I'd put you in the back of my car, and I'd drive you on for a few hours, and then I'd be like, are you okay? And you'd be like, yeah, I'm okay. I'd be like, okay, go home then. And I'd let you go home.
And you would be useless for those 3 hours.
No, I would patrol.
You would still respond to traffic.
And you would sit in my back seat and not do shit for 3 hours. And I'll tell you, shut the fuck up. I'd pull people over, and I'd say, oh, blah, blah, this and that, blah, blah. I would handle my business the same way, but I would just have you just sit in my back seat and just be like, bruh, relax. Because I would feel like you would know when someone needs to go to jail and someone doesn't need to go to jail. I wouldn't do this from when I was a cadet.
Right.
But 4, 5, 8 years into it, like if I'm arresting you and I'm like, hey, or if I'm like getting into a call and they're like, hey, blah blah blah, I'm like, okay, relax. Well, and they don't want to relax, I do what I gotta do, procedure wise. Throw them in the back of the car. Hey, take them to the cell, throw them in jail, have them deal with it. Okay, shoots cap, boom, put them in my back seat. I'm supposed to take them to jail. Leave their car there. I would just drive around and just do my job for like 3 or 4 hours. And then at the end of the night, be like, are you okay? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I know that you were feeling emotional at that time, but I don't feel that you should be arrested and you should deal with the consequences of being arrested. So if you're okay, I'm going to let you go. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel like it would that's how I would be a cop. But I don't know if that'd be a good cop or a bad cop.
I think that would be a very good cop. Be like Judge Dredd.
I've done that before. You know, it's just like, and just take them around and just be like, bro, that's what you were acting like this. This is what you deserve, and then just send them home. It's better than acting crazy and then just arresting someone and putting them into jail and just like
no resolution, no end of the climax. It just climax and then
people don't understand sometimes. People don't understand sometimes what they do.
Did we look up that incident?
It was in Kona, it said.
Oh, it's Kona.
And it escalated because she threw a rock. I'm sorry, she was a Kailua Kona woman. It happened in Captain Cook.
Captain Cook?
Kailua Kona woman. It happened in Captain Cook. She was a guarantee it. Guarantee it. She was Caucasian. Guarantee. If it happened in Kailua Kona, a Kailua Kona woman, and it happened in Captain Cook, she was Caucasian.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm sorry. But she probably wasn't. I'm probably not wrong.
Yes, that's the word.
If she threw a rock at a police officer, she should go to jail.
Oh, for sure.
Kailua Kona. That's where AJ's from.
Kailua Kona.
AJJ.
Kailua Kona. Where the earth is
Green. Kailua Kona.
It's not very green there.
Kailua Kona.
Hilo is green.
Yeah, it isn't though. But they say Kailua Kona, where the grass is green. Kailua Kona, everybody's mean.
Oh.
Kailua.
Is that really the song?
No.
I was like,
Kailua Kona, where we throw rocks.
Okay. So, any shout outs for you? Leonidas?
Nah, I'm good. You were my shout out.
I was shout out.
Yeah, and my
Kiefer. What about Kiefer? We did mention his name. And Zion.
We'll get him. We'll get him on here.
Deus.
We'll get him on here.
Kaeo.
Them tree.
No, there's the tall holly.
Aaron.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm intellectually ready for that motherfucker to be on here.
If you're smart.
I'm gonna need like 3 or 4
he
people.
teaches kids. I'm sure he could bring it down.
No, that motherfucker's
so
way
human.
too smart.
I think that's all we did, but other than my mom.
Jimbo.
I wouldn't Jimbo and your mom. I wouldn't mind having any of them on here. Just a Kailua Kona lady. As long as you're here, I would have you and your mom here. That'd be cherry.
She'll probably convince you the whole time to be a nurse.
Oh yeah, she wants me to be a nurse.
Yeah, she does. She told me.
She wants me to be a nurse. She told me that she wants me to be a nurse, and I was like, she almost convinced me, and I was like, shit, I might be a nurse later. I was like, fuck, that's a
We
good.
both should be nurses.
That's a good profession. I was like, damn.
That'd be crazy, yeah.
She caught me. She caught
You
me.
guys
With
went to nursing school, and then I'm like there, and then
and you're
I
like our
become,
mentor.
Like an ADON, like an assistant DON.
Fuck the
or
DON.
something.
A Don.
Director of nursing.
Oh, I thought like the dawn of like What?
Can you imagine? And then you guys graduate, and then okay, that's weird.
And then we'd be
That'll be
rich.
cool.
And then we'd be rich.
And then we open up our own facility.
Yeah.
Fuck everything up.
We could do that. But it's just there's just
If you're still watching, however many hours after, are you telling me to scratch my elbow, my eyebrow?
No, I'm scratching my eyebrow. I was interested in what you were going for. So if you're still watching,
So like, I've seen other podcasts that say, if you guys are still watching, we have 14 viewers. Blah blah blah.
I don't even think we have that. If you're still watching, you're the only one watching. I think everybody's interesting. You just gotta find the right thing to talk about.
Raj.
You know? You just gotta find the right thing to talk about. And the things that we talked about might have not been the right thing to talk about with you.
For sure.
But we'll have you back.
For sure.
We'll have you back and it'll be different.
And I'll always be willing and able.
But your cup is coming. Because you were on the show, you're gonna get a cup.
Did you customize this?
Not that cup. That's my cup though.
This is your cup.
Yeah. But you're gonna get a cup. Be happy. But you're gonna get a cup though.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming on the show, my man.
Bro. Thank you. Thank you everybody for listening.
AJJ. Literally.
Shout out to my followers, if I have any.
You have many. And if not now, I hope soon.